Carrie, it's so stupid for a man to deny the baby he made with his girlfriend just because he no longer loves her. I know. He can still love the child even if he is not the child's father. It's not the child's fault their mother was unfaithful, right? What is it, Debbie? You know my parents divorced because my father cheated on my mother. What if I have a half-brother or half-sister out there I don't know about? Well, at least you know who your father is. I don't. My mother's used a sperm donor and haven't told me who he is yet. Thanks for sitting next to me. We lesbians must stick together in this hostile environment. Aren't you a bit paranoid, Laura? It's not like there are gangs of homophobes hunting us down. Look behind you.
Hello, cuties.
Oh no. I can't stand the idea of sharing a class with that bigot again. When is Ted Wilson ever going to understand that I have zero interest in boys? How about we show him what it means to be lesbian? Good morning, class. Today we will be reading from the works of Mark Twain. Open your English textbooks to page 92 and we will begin there.
Miss Jenkins, can you do something about these girls making out in front of me? That is so offensive. I shouldn't have to see that.
Okay, I will deal with it.
Hey, that is not what I meant. Wait until my parents hear about this.
Huh? Who is texting me?
Sandy, when will you be bringing Debbie and James to see me? It's been 6 months since you last came here. I have never failed to pay monthly child support to you, so you owe me by having the kids with me here in return.
Rich, you pay child support because you are legally required to. I, on the other hand, am not required to bring the kids to Tulsa to see you. That's why you have visitation rights. If you value your time with our children, you come here to see them. Stop demanding that things be convenient for you and not others.
So she is making demands on me? She already has the kids, and when she divorced me she took about 1/3 of my fortune with her. Now she is not satisfied. I'll send a reply. Sandy, have you asked the kids what they want? I can guarantee they will be much happier spending time with me here in this city than remaining stuck in your small town. There is so much they can do here. What does your town have that Tulsa does not?
He does have a point. You wanted to talk to us, Mother? Yes. Your father wants us to return to Tulsa again so he can see you. But Tulsa has nothing there I want to see, least of all your father. But I will take you back there again if you both want that. It's up to you.
Well, I've already made my feelings clear a long time ago. I really don't care if I see father or not, and I have zero interest in going to Tulsa to see him. Why can't he come here?
That's exactly what I think, James. So I've been outvoted. I do like Tulsa and would go there by myself if I could. But I can't drive. Let me talk to father and maybe we can work something out. Father, I, James and Mother just had a talk about your wanting us to come back to Tulsa again. But the answer is no. You will have to come to us this time.
Are you sure? Isn't Tulsa better?
Perhaps, but this town is where we live now. You have never once come here before, so you probably know nothing about it. Why not give it a chance?
All right. At least this once. I just hope it's worth the trouble.
Father, am I and James not worth the trouble? Wouldn't you fly halfway around the world to see us?
I'm sorry, Debbie, but you are right. I shouldn't have been so arrogant and demanding to your mother. And it won't happen again. See you this weekend.
Wow. You actually got your father to back down. I'm impressed. Well, he loves me. I've always been Daddy's girl. So I took advantage of that for your sake.
Your move, James.
I find it strange that the king is such a weak piece, yet I must do everything I can to protect it. That's not a king, that's a giant baby.
If everything in the game had to make sense, we wouldn't have a lot of fun games. Try not to overthink things so much, it only gives you headaches.
Your move, Debbie. Maybe I should resign now. You already took my queen and one of my rooks. You won't be a better chess player if you give up too quickly. Think for a few more minutes before giving up. Rich, if you're unsure of what to do, just resign. I have already taken your queen, so you are in a bad position.
Really? Or are you just trying to win faster by rushing me so I make more mistakes?
You know me too well. I wish our parents could have just used chess games to settle their conflicts instead of taking each other to court.
I don't think a chess game can be used to justify cheating on our mother, Debbie.
So what are we watching?
An episode of The Simpsons.
James, that show was being made before either of us was born. Why aren't Bart, Lisa, and Maggie already adults? Children should be made to grow up and their characters evolve over time.
Well, maybe they could just make a new version, The Simpsons, The Next Generation.
A new movie about Superman is coming out this week. Want to go see it? Only if James can come too. He already told me he wants to see it. I'll have one for Superman.
Me too.
Give me one ticket for the ridiculous movie. Hey, I thought you would see the Superman movie with me and James. No, I decided to watch something else. We don't have to all watch the same movie.
Carrie, I have a question.
What is it?
When you and I get older, could we someday be a couple?
Is that what you want? To become my first boyfriend?
Yeah. I already talked to Debbie about it and she thought I should ask you directly. That's why she went to see another movie, so the two of us could talk it out.
James, you are a sweet boy, but I don't think it would work. First, we are not even the same age. You are only 10 and I am 13. Second, my mothers think I shouldn't be dating until I'm older, around age 15 or 16. Third, I actually like Debbie a lot more. She would be my girlfriend long before you would ever be my boyfriend.
So you are in love with Debbie instead? Then maybe you should be with her now.
No, we paid for Superman and so we will watch that movie now. I can always be with Debbie later. So how did it go with Carrie?
Well, nothing happened. She's just not interested in me.
I'm sorry, Debbie. That's why I was so upset when you refused to join me earlier. I wanted to kiss you, not James. Well, you can kiss me now. Thanks for coming with me to this beach. My pleasure, of course. Oh, it looks like James will be a heartbreaker in a few years.
Hello, sweetie. You are so cute.
You were saying? He's never getting a girlfriend with that sort of attitude. He looks more like a future incel.
Hey, what are you kids doing on my property? Get out.
Excuse me? This was supposed to be a public beach.
Well, it's not anymore. I bought this land and from now on, outsiders are not welcome. Leave now or I will have you arrested for trespassing.
Mother, how can that old man be so mean? We weren't doing any harm. Perhaps at least one of us should have a talk with him. Maybe we can come to some kind of agreement. Hello. I am Sandy Smith and this is one of my friends, Jessica Sims. Yesterday, you kicked our daughters off a beach you claimed to own and we want to know why.
I am Dave Peterson and I do indeed own that beach now. Before I bought it, people were constantly stomping all over it and leaving their trash behind, including plastic waste that often harms wildlife. I had that beach cleaned up and want to make it a wildlife sanctuary where birds, crabs, and other animals can roam freely and not fear being disturbed by humans. Soon I will put up fences and signs to keep people out.
I see. That's actually a commendable reason to keep people off a beach. We will explain that to our children and we promise they will never bother you again.
Thank you. Have a nice day, ladies.
So how long have you and Eric been a couple? Since we were 14. We first made contact in a Facebook group for Star Wars fans. You are so lucky. I'm still trying to figure out who my first girlfriend should be when I turn 15. Carrie or Laura. At least I have 2 more years to make up my mind.
Meanwhile, as James is leaving elementary school.
Thanks for walking with me, James. You are a sweetheart.
No problem. When you are growing up with a big sister who taught me to care for other girls, that is natural. Oh no! Hello, James. I see you are hooking up with one of the ugliest girls in your school. I guess that's what a wimp like you has to settle for.
What? Why do you hate me?
It's bad enough that you hit on my sister. Now you are insulting a 10-year-old? Get a life, Ted Wilson. You better show some respect for your superiors. Oh, I do. Just not you. And so Ted proceeds to beat James mercilessly as a terrified Denise watches in shock. There. That should protect your injuries until they heal up in a few weeks. Thank you, Doctor.
Mrs. Smith, I am so sorry. I was so scared.
It's okay, honey. This was not your fault. I will deal with it. I understand that Ted Wilson is your nephew. So I am putting you on notice that James was badly beaten by Ted and so can no longer attend school.
Oh, no. I have never understood why he pulls the stunts he does.
I will be suing Ted's parents for what their son did.
I don't think Ted is the type of person to understand what a lawsuit involves. On the other hand, I do think you are entitled to exact revenge. Let me call Ted. Ted, can you come by my science classroom before you go home? It's important.
I'm on my way, Uncle. Hey, what are all these people doing here?
I was told you put James Smith in hospital. So you are to be punished. As school principal, I would usually not tolerate something like this, but it seems like the kind of thing only an idiot like Ted Wilson can understand. So, I will pretend I didn't see this.
Mother Lucy, I am puzzled as to why you want us to celebrate holidays like Christmas. We are not ourselves Christian. As a child, I wasn't allowed to celebrate any holidays, or my birthday, because I was a Jehovah's Witness. Those events were considered pagan practices.
But why can't I go to the party? They invited me.
Lucy, we're servants of Jehovah, and as such we are not allowed to take part in worldly activities. We are different. And that makes us holy. But I did not feel holy. Just like an outcast. Eventually,
Because I was made to avoid my friends' parties, they began to shun me and the only friends I could really have were fellow witnesses.
It seems so cruel to do that to a child.
Yes, it was. And that is why I and Jessica encourage you to enjoy Christmas with others. You can still be atheist if you want. But you shouldn't think your atheism makes you better than others. We are not a cult. We are human, all of us. And celebrating holidays is a human thing to do.
Look at all the trash people left in the park after the music festival yesterday. If people keep doing that, the town may ban such events. Then we just need to increase public awareness of the problem. How? We are just a couple of teens. We just try to get more people involved. So we are suggesting that you encourage kids here and their parents to clean up the park. And keep it clean so the town can have more music events and not worry about the park becoming an eyesore afterwards.
That's an excellent idea. After Debbie leaves the office, Mr. Hernandez activates the school's peer system. Attention all students and teachers. I wish to organize a group for cleaning up the park this Saturday. Students who sign up for park cleanup will be granted meals for free from the cafeteria for 1 week.
Ha! They should make all the meals from the cafeteria free, because the food from there is awful.
Shut up, you selfish brat. You can always bring your own food instead.
This was an awesome idea, Debbie. Thanks for suggesting it.
No problem.
I'm glad you kids are showing a proper interest in cleaning up the environment. Because of this, I will open up my beach property next weekend to the kids that are part of this cleanup team.
That's awesome. Of course, cleaning up public places like this park or your beach is its own reward. Mother, someone stuck a poster here at the bus stop. Can you read it? One night I dreamed a dream. As I was walking along the beach with my Lord, across the dark sky flashed scenes from my life. For each scene, I noticed 2 sets of footprints in the sand, one belonging to me and one to my Lord. After the last scene of my life flashed before me, I looked back at the footprints in the sand. I noticed that at many times along the path of my life, especially at the very lowest and saddest times, there was only 1 set of footprints. This really troubled me, so I asked the Lord about it. Lord, you said once I decided to follow you, you'd walk with me all the way. But I noticed that during the saddest and most troublesome times of my life, there was only 1 set of footprints. I don't understand why, when I needed you the most, you would leave me. He whispered, my precious child, I love you and will never leave you. Never, ever, during your trials and testings. When you saw only 1 set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. What a sweet story. Yes, but that's all it is. A story. It's not based on anything real. It is used to comfort believers in God, but is there any reason to assume God will carry you through tough and painful times? Why not just rely on other human beings, who you know exist and can help you? You can solve your problems with them that no story can match. You are right, Mother.
And with that, Debbie rips down the poster and washes it up, finally throwing it in a nearby trash can.
Good work, Debbie. Maybe we can replace it with a poster featuring the number of a suicide prevention hotline. So what do you want to do this weekend?
There's a bowling alley I want to try in the town about 40 miles away.
Okay, I've never played bowling before. It's worth a try to see if I like it. Debbie, would you like to go on a double date with me and Eric? We will be going to a bowling alley.
I'd love to go, but I don't have a love partner yet.
You can just go with a casual friend.
So who are you going with? I could go with either Carrie or Laura. But neither of them are my girlfriend yet and I'm only 13.
Didn't you say I should wait until I am older? I said that because I wanted you to get your driver's license first so you can have your own transportation instead of always relying on a love partner to take you places. I understand. Let me call Carrie first and see if she is available. Tell Eric and Bella that you will go, but only if I go too. But you don't have a boyfriend, do you? Well, Steve, you remember when you said you wanted to date me after Rich and I divorced?
Yes, but you turned me down.
Only because I wasn't ready. My split was quite bitter and it took a long time to get over it. If you are still interested, I'd like to see you. Oh, do you like bowling?
I love bowling. I used to play it often in my teens and 20s.
Thanks for coming. I feel a little uneasy at seeing my mother with a man other than my father. I understand that, but you should want your mother to be happy. If you chose to be my wife someday and your mother opposed that, how would you feel? I'd be upset, of course. I'd want her to trust my judgment and respect my personal space. Of course you would. It's no different for your mother. Bowling is a lot more fun than I expected.
I'm glad you liked it. Let's make another strike.
Carrie, have you decided what you will wear for the Halloween costume party? Well, I'm sort of wearing a costume now. Yeah, but you wear that every day. How about we try something different? And whatever you get, I want us to coordinate our outfits.
Later, the girls go to a fashion store to explore their options.
So what should we wear? Superheroes? Aliens? Robots? Animals? Let's be aliens.
Wow. You and Carrie look amazing.
Thank you.
This is certainly not something I'd wear often, but it's still fun to be someone different for a while.
Right. And that makes us look like the perfect couple.
Carrie.
May I kiss you?
Sure.
I
Love you. I hope you never stop doing that to me, even if we are not in costume. It just feels perfect.
I agree.
As long as you want me, I am yours.
Jessica has begun giving Carrie driving lessons, often a nerve-wracking experience for parents and children alike.
You are doing well so far, so try not to be such a nervous wreck. Just focus on the road and... Carrie, stop.
And Carrie pulls over to avoid hitting the cat on the road.
I'm so glad we didn't run you over, kitty. Meow, meow. If we were still in Boston, we could take this cat to my mother's cat shelter. There is an animal shelter in this town, but Debbie says it kills most of the animals it receives. More like a Nazi concentration camp than a shelter. I know. Anyway, your grandmother would often take kittens to a local hospital for children to play with. Maybe we can do the same with this cat. Thanks for allowing us to bring the cat to your hospital.
No problem. Mrs. Georgia is a cat lover, so I hope her being with the cat you brought gives her a much-needed morale boost after her terrible accident.
Such a sweet kitty. P-U-R-R-R-R-R-R-R-R-R. Mother Lucy, I'm home.
So how was school today?
Great. I got another A on my science test. Mr. Wilson says I am his best student.
Awesome. Have a seat, I have great news for you as well.
So what's happening?
You know that trip Jessica just went on to Boston? Well, that wasn't just to visit her mother again. She also went up there to adopt a child. A child? But you told me you couldn't adopt because you and Mother Jessica were lesbian. Well, that was 15 years ago. One of the adoption agencies that had previously rejected us contacted us after it came under new management that was not homophobic. They told us about a 12-year-old girl that they had not yet been able to place in a permanent home. And they offered her to us. I'm so happy.
A couple of days later, Jessica arrives with the new girl.
Welcome to our home in Texas, Vicky. This is my wife, Lucy, and our first daughter, Carrie. Hi.
Welcome, Vicky. It's nice to see you. You are lovely.
The next day, Debbie and her family come to visit the Sims.
Ever since Vicky arrived here, Carrie has not spoken a single word to her. She just ignores her. So she is jealous. That often happens in families in which a child is used to getting all the attention. Debbie never had that problem, because she was only 3 when James was born and so they grew up together. I guess I should have consulted Carrie before bringing Vicky here, but I assumed she would be happy about it. Before Carrie met Debbie, she did say she wished she had a sister around. I guess Debbie sort of filled that void. What am I supposed to do? I never asked for this strange girl to show up here. How can I be expected to suddenly begin calling her my sister? You know, she probably feels just as awkward, having not only a new sister, but 2 mothers and even being removed from where she was born to live in another state. I can't imagine how she feels. Why not talk to her?
Hello. You are so cute. How old are you?
I'm 10. My name is James and I am Debbie's brother.
Your sister is beautiful too. I think I'm going to like living here after all.
Thanks.
Carrie, it seems you are not happy at me and Lucy adopting Vicky. Can you explain why? Because you told me years ago you were not going to have another child. And then you do this. Which makes me feel like I am being abandoned, like I am not enough for you. Carrie, we are not abandoning you. I meant that I could not risk having another baby naturally after both Lucy and I tried to get pregnant. And Lucy had 2 miscarriages, and even my successful pregnancy was so difficult that you and I both almost died. Lucy and I were both afraid of another failure, so we gave up after your birth. But having you was Lucy's idea, and she told me at one point she wanted 3 children. I had no idea things were so difficult. My and Lucy's hearts are big enough for 3 children. Why not yours? And Vicky needs a loving family. Her birth mother is now in prison for abusing her, and she also got the AIDS virus from a child molester. Which is why no one else wanted her. Can you help me and Lucy show Vicky what a loving family is like? I guess I can try. But how can you expect me to accept her as my sister? Well, Lucy didn't give birth to you, but you have always called her Mother Lucy. How is that any different? You are right and I am sorry. Please forgive me.
Yes. Take those perverts down.
So what are you watching?
An episode of Law & Order, Special Victims Unit. It's been my favorite TV show since I was 8.
Because it reminds you of your own past, doesn't it?
Yes. So you know.
I do. And I realize you have already been through hell. You shouldn't have to suffer anymore because I was a jerk to you at first. I apologize.
Thanks. I guess we both have a long way to go, but I'm glad you don't hate me.
Vicky, you say you were born on December 17th.
Yes, But my birth mother and I never celebrated my birthday. She said I was the reason she was always going broke. She said, I gave birth to you, so you must repay me by working your little ass off for me. Or else. I was her slave. And she would beat me if I failed to do things the exact way she wanted.
I am so sorry. My mothers have always treated me with love and respect. Anyway, the reason I mentioned your birthday was because I was thinking we could celebrate it together.
What would be the point? My birthday is so close to Christmas, so we can skip it and just celebrate that. When is your birthday?
June 22nd. Debbie's is on June 14th, so we celebrate our birthdays together.
Cool. So why are we here?
To meet up with Debbie. I told her to come here to shop with us. There she is. Hello. I'm glad to meet you, Vicky.
Wow. Carrie said you were beautiful, but she hardly did you justice. Now I see why she adores you so much.
Thank you. You look awesome too.
I can't believe you are buying this beautiful dress for me. My birth mother never bought me anything as a gift. Not for my birthday, not for Christmas. Never.
Your birth mother didn't love you the way she should have, so now we will. Merry Christmas. Mother, Vicky Sims loved the gift that Carrie and I got her. Oh, here is your credit card back. And Carrie has promised to pay you back eventually. There is no need to rush. I spent my childhood poor, so I know how it feels to often be broke. That's why as an adult I give back to the society that made me the successful woman I am now. And I hope you will do the same. Yes, Mother. Always.